where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. God has hidden unlimited treasures in His Word. Every time we open it, we can discover a new treasure, or admire an old one. What will we find today? Let's dig in. Here's Carla Early with Treasure Hunt in the Word.
Can you imagine the days between the resurrection and Jesus' ascension? The disciples must have felt like they were on an emotional and spiritual roller coaster, if they'd known what a roller coaster was, anyway. They never really knew when Jesus would show up. When He did, they were elated, walked on cloud 9, and soaked in every word from Him. But when He wasn't there, they must have felt doubt creeping in. After all, they didn't yet have the Holy Spirit to testify with their spirit that this was real. This period didn't last long. Jesus knew He was about to ascend back into heaven, and He gave them what we call the Great Commission in Matthew 28:18 and 20. And Jesus came and said to them, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go, therefore, and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I have commanded you. And behold, I am with you always, to the end of the age." His disciples had seen His authority as He walked with them for 3 years. They'd seen His authority over sickness and disease as He healed countless people. They'd seen His authority over demons as He cast them out. They'd seen His authority over nature as He calmed the storms, walked on water, and withered an unfruitful fig tree. They'd seen His power over death on multiple occasions, culminating in the raising of Lazarus. He'd even sent them out and gave them authority over disease and demons. He told them in John 14:12, "Truly I say to you, whoever believes in me will do the works that I do, and greater works than these will he do, because I am going to the Father." As a man, Jesus had limited Himself, but no more. He now has authority over everything. Therefore, on the basis of that authority, the disciples, and you and I, are sent with His unlimited authority. He commands us to go. Do you remember that centurion who asked Jesus to heal his servant? He truly understands the authority Jesus had. And we should too. Jesus has all authority. That means over us as well. And if He says go, we'd better get. So what are we to do? We are sent out by Him to make disciples. This isn't a job just for our pastors or for church programs. This is Jesus' direct command to go, to us, to all of us. We are to go under His authority and are to go with His authority. We aren't to make converts, but disciples. We're not called just to lead someone in a prayer to ask Jesus into their hearts, but we're to disciple them, come alongside them. Being a disciple is a lifelong process, not a one-time decision at salvation. We're also to baptize and teach. Sunday school teachers and Bible study leaders are not the only teachers. All of us are. We are to teach what we have learned from the Lord, share what He's taught us. What the Lord teaches me in my quiet time isn't just for me, but is for me to share with others. That's precisely why I decided to start this podcast. I didn't want to waste any of those precious treasures that God has given me. I wanted to share them. Now, we're not to do this on our own. This is the great commission. Though we don't see Jesus physically, He is with us. Remember, He's called Emmanuel. He's with us in the form of the Holy Spirit inside of us. This promise is not just for the disciples, but for us as well, generation after generation. He is the constant in our lives and has been from the beginning. How are you sharing what God has taught you? Where is God sending you with His command to go? The Great Commission hasn't changed. He still says to go. He still is with us as we go to the end of the age. I'd love to pray for you as you go. You can contact me at treasurehuntintheword@gmail.com. I'm Carla Early. Thanks for listening. And remember, where your treasure is, there will your heart be also.